Hello everybody, this is Kirby Trinity, and we have a different kind of video today. As you can tell, we have a shipment. Now this is, of course, from Newegg. Sadly, the packaging, like right around here, has some sort of like a spill on it. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's not damaged. There also has been quite a bit of side damage, corner damage on the packaging, and also, as you can tell, there is, well, you might not be able to tell, but inside it doesn't seem as though there is any type of, I guess like the air packets or the bubble wrap or any of the styrofoam peanuts, nothing like that. It seems that the packaging is just not as great from Newegg, but I trust Newegg with their items that they usually stay pretty well and they're usually protected and hopefully things are fine. And here's the reason why I'm wearing gloves for this process. It is because I am going to be handling a brand new CPU and motherboard for, guess what? My desktop. So this thing is actually going to be fixed. Now, let's get my pocket knife. Also, not only is it going to be fixed, but it's also going to be upgraded. So yeah, so hopefully things will begin to go back to normal for both YouTube and as well as Twitch. So yeah, I mean, no longer will I have to worry about using the laptop. Of course, when I go into my school, I'm probably going to have to go back to using my laptop. But that's normal, and I hope you guys can understand that videos may not be so frequent or things like that, but I will be visiting every now and then back home, and so I will have my desktop and so forth. Well, what do you know? Looks like there is some sort of air packaging, but it's kind of poorly put in. As you can tell, it was attached to some of this tape here, and there we go. That's my CPU. So as you can see, I got the Intel Core i7-4790K. Now, of course, I didn't get an aftermarket cooler, as you can tell. The reason is because I don't exactly have all that kind of money, and on top of that, I don't believe that I truly need aftermarket cooling for the computer right now. Now, in the future, yeah, I probably will because of the newer, processing types and graphics powers and so forth, such as for processors, I know Skylake is coming out by the end of this year, and also next year, Cannon Lake will be coming out, which is a 10 nanometer processor, which is ridiculous. But anyways, so there's my invoice. It says, yep, I have the MSI Z97A Gaming 6 RTL motherboard, and then I also have the, CPU Intel Core i7-4790K, 4.0 GHz, and 8 MB cache. So that's quite nice. Now here is my motherboard, and as you can tell, I took out all the air packaging, and it didn't really cover this back area of this motherboard, so that's kind of disappointing. And as you can tell, also, if I reflect it a little bit, I don't know if you guys can tell, but here and here there are some dents in the casing for the motherboard's box. But aside from that, it seems like the motherboard is pretty decent in shape. As you can tell, there's another dent here and another dent there. And also, as you can tell on the CPU, I don't know if you can see it, because this is a wide-angle lens and so forth, but as you can see right here, the box is kind of really flimsy, so it's kind of sad that I see that, but regardless, nonetheless, these boxes are still in very good condition, so I'm quite satisfied with that. Now, I'm not going to take out the CPU for the moment. I'm actually going to go with the motherboard first, and the motherboard first being the fact that that is basically going to be the first thing I'm going to put in. So as you can see, this motherboard has USB 3.1 Type-C and also Audio Boost 2, Killer Ethernet 2200 game networking, and it also has, of course, supports the 5th gen and 4th gen and it also has the chipset of Z97 inside, which is quite nice, and I also got these on promotion. I don't know if it's still on promotion, but I got it as a back-to-school deal. I got $15 off of it, so I paid actually $15 less for this motherboard than the one than for the Gaming 5. So this one also has extra stuff like the USB 3.1 and so on and so forth. So that was a really nice deal that I got. And I also used my Visa promo for this Intel Core i7, and I got $25 off of this processor, which is fantastic because even now with their certain promotion code right now, you can't even get that much off. So I was very lucky and I was very happy. Now I'm not as lucky as some people who got their certain pre-order deals. Now that was insane. They got their processor for, I believe it was, what was it? It was $200 and something. It was incredible. So yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So alright, so we have, oh, forgot that motherboards did that. I haven't had one in a long time. As you can see, here it is, the conductive grid bag. So this will prevent electrical damage towards the motherboard. And now as you can see, here's the heat sinks. No, I did not get the Dragon type heat sinks, which looked really cool, but I thought this was already good enough. And as you can tell, I also have the 4 slots for DDR3 RAM. And it does support my HyperX Genesis RAM, the 2400 MHz, 16 gigs of it. So that's fantastic. And also, luckily, we have a good recognition of probably a total of a 3-way SLI for the double graphics card. So that's quite nice. It has support for multi-GPU. Here's the LGA 1150 processing socket right here. It also has that cover here. All capacitors are black, and they're relatively nice, and yeah, they're relatively high quality, of course. Here's the 8-pin connector for the CPU, which is quite nice. And as you can see, here's the CPU fan. I don't know if you all can tell, but I'm basically taking a very close look at it, trying to get things associated with it. But alright, so let's go ahead and take this out. Ooh. This is one heck of a motherboard. So, okay, so here, yes, I have 8.1 channel support for the sound and audio, and I also have the, yep, right here, this is the gigabit connection for Ethernet, which is quite nice, and then I have the 2 USB 3.0, and then over on here, on this motherboard, I have a VGA port, a DVI port, an HDMI port, and a display port. So that's quite nice, and then I also have the older type style, I forgot what it was called, I think it's like SP2 or something like that, or PS2 I think, no, PlayStation 2, yeah, it's for like a keyboard or mouse output, stuff like that, and then there's the USB 3.1 slots, which are also backwards compatible with USB 3.0, and I believe it would be also compatible back to, all the way to USB 2.0, which is great. Now, that's pretty much what my motherboard looks like. It is fantastic, and I love this heatsink right here. It's so smooth, so sleek, and everything. And look at this. I love this. The fact that the battery here is actually relatively easy if you have 1 or 2 graphics cards. Now, of course, once you have 3 graphics cards into here, then it begins to get a bit difficult to take this out. You'd have to remove a graphics card in order to take out the battery and replace it. But that's besides the point. Also, it has the audio boost, which allows you to have headphone amplifiers, which is great. It supports up to, I believe, 600 ohm resistors, so it's great. And also, on top of that, it glows red. So that's quite nice, a black and a red kind of a system. It's really nice, good. I'd say it has pretty awesome mounting points and so forth. It's pretty solid. So, alright, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to set it on top of these airbags because I think that's a bit more safe. Now, what else do we have with this motherboard? So as you can tell, we also have, here's the I/O port, or yeah, I believe this is called the I/O port. No, I/O panel for the motherboard. it's not really all that big. I would think it would be bigger, but hey, well, I'm not complaining. This is actually pretty decent. So, yeah. So this is the I/O panel, I guess. I thought it would be bigger, but that's probably because the last motherboard that I actually handled with an I/O panel was an EATX motherboard, so it was massive. The I/O panel, I think, was like this big, so it was ridiculous. I think I went off camera there. Here's some cables for hard drives, so that's great. I think it's a 6 gigabit per second, so that's nice. Not gigabyte, gigabit. There is a difference. Here's my SLI bridge for graphics cards, of course. And then here's my labeling type of guide from MSI, which is quite nice. And I love this. We get this nice big sticker to put on our desktop, and we get to put it on and have it say MSI Gaming G Series. It's nice. So it's quite exciting to have that. And then here we have the little kind of added parts so that when we plug it into like the case and so forth, then we can just plug it all the way into here and it'll be all fine and dandy. So everything should be okay. And here, here's I believe this is Molex to fan output. So just in case if we wanted to add another sort of fan to it or things like that, we have this adapter that allows us to change it from a Molex into a fan, which is nice. I think this is also for PWM mode fans, which is quite nice. So on top of all that, we have our little DVD. This is the drivers and utilities. I think it may be best to go online to do this, but what the heck, I might actually just do it for now and then update it later, because I want to get, I want to get on my computer as soon as possible. And here we have the G series products, which is the gaming series essentially. So we have all these, which is really nice. No, I am not sponsored by MSI, nor am I sponsored by Intel, because my YouTube channel is freaking 20 subscribers, which I am very grateful for, but that is nowhere near enough for a sponsor. So this is just what I purchased for my computer. And here's the quick installation guide. So this tells you how to install the CPU, the RAM, and the graphics cards, and certain other things. So that's nice. And here we have the user guide, which I don't really need all that much. But hey, well, I'm not complaining. This is nice. This is good stuff. I'm glad. And then this, of course, this is fun. I like this. Because this is for your door, and you can just put it on there and it says gaming motherboard, I'm sorry, busy gaming. So, or this one, I'm not here. So that's quite nice. Now, of course, I still have my GTX 660 3GB EVGA superclocked graphics card, and that thing has been beautiful. I mean, it just runs so smooth, so nicely, and nothing has been wrong with it. It has always ran pretty much most or any game at max settings. Of course, it doesn't nearly compare to the next upgrade that I have ready for. It'll be around tomorrow or so. So, but this at least gives me the ability to still be very powerful with my gaming and my computer usage. Now, so I will still have that in there. That will probably be used towards the casual gaming and so forth. I do have an upgrade coming, that is the EVGA NVIDIA GTX 980 graphics card. It is the 4GB edition, and you can use the full 4GB of RAM in it, and of course the 970 you cannot, but that is still not a major issue. But once the games become RAM heavy, graphics memory heavy, or hungry, then it might be important. But aside from that, 970 is a fantastic card, but I love the 980, so I will be receiving that. It is the superclocked edition with the ACX 2.0 cooling system, which is beautiful, and it is a fantastic card, so I can't wait to have it. So yeah, I should be receiving it sometime tomorrow. But anyways, so that's that. That is generally the motherboard. Yeah, so I guess we move on to the CPU, and let's take a look at what the CPU looks like, because I think that'll be very interesting. So here we are. This is the Intel Core i7-4790K, as I've mentioned about 50 million times during this video. Let's go ahead and open it. I have my pocket knife here. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I want to... Yeah, I think I should open it on this side. No. Geez, this is kind of a bad design, I guess, for me at least, because here they have this label that says, you know, the batch number and everything, and then they put it over here. And so I don't know if I should cut that open or if I should cut this, but it says factory sealed, and usually that means, oh, if it's open, warranty void. But I don't know. So I'm going to just open this because, oh well. There's that. And of course, always prevent line of fire, because that's not fun to deal with. Wow, this is difficult. There it is. There it is. It's just a bit tough to come out first. So, here we go. And this is the general idea. So there it is. That is your cooling system there. So that's quite nice, the heatsink and so forth. Now here is my little pamphlet that I get. This is installation instructions, 3-year limited warranty, Intel Inside logo label. And that would be this. So yay, I finally have one to put on my desktop, because I used my friend's i7 that I traded him for an old motherboard that I had, which wasn't old. It was actually newer than the processor he gave me, so this is a huge upgrade for me, so this is fantastic. So I finally get this on here. And here, ooh, come on. I know you can come out. There we go. So this is the processor, and now this is the thing that you don't want to touch. And you want to thoroughly inspect it to make sure that there is nothing wrong with it, so that way, when you install it, everything will be okay. But if not everything is okay on this processor, then you may want to just immediately say, okay, I want to notify them, because if you do install it and it becomes damaged and burned, then this will be considered as a physical damage and it was not properly handled. So there you go. That's something you want to make sure is good. And then you have here your cooling mechanism, and here it is. There's the fan, and there's the port for it, and there's the connectors, and that is the heatsink. And then you have your nice, neatly handled thermal paste and copper plating there. And of course, I'm going to need to clean the surrounding area of that copper plate, because it seems to be a bit dirty. But overall, yes, that is generally the gist of everything. So that is my Intel Core i7-4790K. And it is my motherboard, my MSI Z97A Gaming 6 series motherboard, so it's fantastic. I am so happy with these two products. Now, I only have to wait until I install them, and then we shall see how it runs. So, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more We aren't on air. Shut up. Actually, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to keep checking my channel to see more new videos that will be coming out, and hopefully soon enough I will be on a schedule to where things do come out constantly rather than now being every now and then. Now that I have my desktop, that I'm pretty sure will happen fairly soon. So, again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!